Okay. Today is Thursday, May 5th, 2011, and we are interviewing Goldie McCauley at the LaSalle, Illinois Veterans Home. And Goldie was born January 1st, 1937. And my name is Cheryl Walker. I'm with the Secretary of State, Illinois State Library, and I'll be the interviewer. Goldie McCauley, could you state for the record what war and branch of service you served in?
I was in the Army 1957 to 1960. It was between Korea, I think, and Vietnam, within a few days or months of that. I served 3 years with the Women's Army Corps. I was in the medical field, just a little peon, no nurse or nothing. What else?
Okay, what rank were you?
Well, rank, I got in a little trouble, so I was up for rank and I lost it all. So I ended up with next to nothing. Wasn't fair, but it happened.
So what rank did you end up with?
That I can't tell you, I don't know.
You don't know.
I took the blunt for a lot of people, so.
Okay.
And I wouldn't do it again today, but that's beside the point.
Okay. What assignment or what job did you have?
I went through the hospital ward, each job in the hospital until I found one I liked. And I liked surgery. I loved it. And then when I got overseas, because I wasn't school trained, they wouldn't let me work on that job, and that's what I went over for. The gal that had the job was school trained, but she had to stay with us. She wanted to switch us jobs. I'd take hers and she'd take mine. They wouldn't let us do that. The guy that was in charge of the hospital, he didn't like women very good. So we didn't go anywhere with that. So I worked the quality. Let's see. I worked in, well, they have the supplies, general services or something where when we brought in supplies, we cleaned them up, and then we sent them back out sterile. That's what I ended up with. Actually, no training or no value.
And where were you stationed at?
Okay, I started out in Alabama. Then I went to Texas Medical School. And then I went back to Georgia, I think it was. And then from there I went to Japan for 1 year. I worked in the hospital there. A little bit dirty over in Japan at that time. Nasty.
Where in Japan?
Zama. In Zama. When we were over there stationed, Eisenhower was going to land. I think it was on a May Day. And they wouldn't let him land. They wouldn't let the plane land, so none of us could go out. We all had to stay within our barracks and just stay there until it was over. That was interesting to me.
How come they wouldn't let him land?
I don't know what was going on. It was on a May Day, I know. It's by some friction or something. I know it was Eisenhower.
Did you see a lot of casualties over there?
They come into the hospital, but they weren't that bad. I mean, the ones we saw weren't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
There was the little finger, things, or like ace bandage knee or something. And we was not with the ward people. I don't know if it was the nurses were out there or what, We I call them the little peahunts.
You told me about Eisenhower supposedly going to land and how you were going to stay in your barracks or having to stay in your barracks. Were there any other memorable times when you were stationed in any of your...
Like what? What type?
Any type. Anything that you have memories of.
Well, I have one memory of my lungs are definitely bad, real bad. They made us set up formaldehyde bottles for samples, for tissue samples. And we had to wipe down a lot of things with ether, and I think that caused my lungs to be bad. They claim it was smoking, but I didn't smoke that much. So I sat here with bad lungs. Can't hardly get air, nothing. And I still think that's the blame for it.
Did you receive any type of awards or medals or
No.
citations? Nothing.
Nope.
What about staying in touch with your families? With your family, was that difficult?
No, I wrote letters. They wrote letters back and forth.
Did it take long to get them?
No.
No?
When I went overseas, it took like 15 days by the boat. And I wrote every day on the boat what happened that day. And then I got that letter at home now, and that's what we done. And then when we came home, we flew home. So it was just like going through the international date line or whatever. And we were home. That's, different too.
How was that different?
Well, we were, one day, it was so slow and, pukey, and you got real stirred up. You got seasick or something. And then coming back, it was this zippo. It was home. That was nice coming back.
What on the boat trip over? It took 15 days, and you got seasick. What else did you? Those 15 days. What else did you?
We sat and played cards all the time. We drank, what's it, pear juice? We drank some kind of juice in little bottles, sipped it all the time. And then it didn't bother us much. You didn't go down and do your laundry. You just wore it. Because down in the room, you got trapped for air. So you learn a few things, And then we just sit up in the lunchroom, played with the guys.
When you were in Japan or any Georgia or the other places that you were stationed, what was the food like?
Oh, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Edible. It stuck to your bones.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't complain about, a lot of food anyway. I just eat what's there and that's it.
When you were in Japan, did you eat the food from Japan, or did you eat American food?
I ate what was in the mess hall mostly.
Mm-hmm.
I tasted other stuff, but I'm not a wild taster.
Okay.
I don't like shrimp. I don't like all that stuff. So, and seeing them eat that raw fish, I don't like that.
Did you have plenty of supplies? Being in the hospital, were supplies limited?
No, we always had enough, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember being short.
How about when you were in the service, did you feel a lot of pressure or stress?
There's stress there. If people don't like you, they're stressed. If a nurse don't like you, you're beat or, and there's some of them in there. And if she liked you, you're great. I had nurses that wanted to send me home after I got out and go to nurses training. They'd pay for it. Wish I had taken them up on it, but I didn't. Pay them back when I could do it. It had been a great opportunity too.
What did you do when you came back?
Went back to work to where I was when I left. So I really didn't gain ahead, really. I came back to what I was at. And I was working in a factory. Let's see where I can't even recall anymore.
So you didn't use the GI Bill to...
Didn't know about it, really. A lot of things you don't know about.
They didn't tell you about it?
If they did, I don't know. I have no... Afterwards, later in life, I heard about it. You can go to school on a state school or something. It wasn't for women anyway. Military is mostly for men.
Did you take something or did you buy something that you carried around or that you did for special good luck?
I always kept a mirror on my dresser. It said 100 years from now it won't make any difference. People said, what's that for? And I always had a piggy bank. And I put all my change in it because we had like $60 a month or something. I put all my change in that the first half of the month. The last half of the month, we had money to go to movies with or buy some gas in the car or something. Because I'd always wiggle it out and always had money.
Did you take those with you when you went into
because they
service?
furnished the car. I a lot of times drove. So if they needed gas, I gave them gas. It was only like a couple bucks, but we got to do things.
Did you take those with you when you went in the service, or did you buy those?
Oh, from home? I probably took the piggy bank with me. No, I probably didn't because it might break. I probably bought it somewhere.
Uh-huh. Do you still have them?
I got piggy banks, but I don't know which ones they are. I can't say.
How did you entertain yourself when you were in the service?
Done sports. Done needlework. Like a fancy thing on a pillowcase or something.
What kind of sports did you do?
Basketball. I love that. Softball. Tennis. Ping pong. That's what I remember.
Did you play on a team or anything
Yeah,
in
we
the
had
service?
teams.
You had teams.
But sometimes we'd have a team, then they'd quit us. The coach would quit us. And it's all over sexual stuff. If he couldn't, be friends with one girl or something, he'd quit us then. So then we'd be out on our own, trying to struggle to. It happened. It's,
Huh. Were all the teams right there on the post that you were stationed at? Or did you go to different posts to
we
play?
go different places,
Really?
wherever we could drum up a team. Where'd we go? Yokohama. I think we went to Tokyo one time. In the States, I can't remember. We played a team in Texas. Then I had to move on, but we won champion in that that game, I got a little trophy about so high. I didn't even know it. And then when I got back to Georgia, I think it was, Georgia, Texas, they sent me the trophy. I was thrilled.
Huh. So those are some pretty good memories.
Oh, yeah. I try to keep stuff, remembering.
Uh-huh.
But when you're away from it, then you forget all about it. And then after out in life, after one of my kids was born, I had seizures, so I forgot a lot of stuff. Just wiped me out. Then I'm coming around, so.
Did any famous entertainers come to your post or your unit?
If they did, I can't recall.
When you took leaves or R&R, where did you go? You said you went to Tokyo, and
That was usually with on a team sport thing or something. I don't think I ever went home from Japan until I came home. When I was in the States, I'd go places, but it was usually going home.
when you were stationed in Japan, did you purchase a lot of things and send them home?
I purchased a few things,
Did you?
and they were real cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I got a ring too, had it made. And the back of it made my finger real dark, like tarnished. That ring was supposed to have been gold, and I don't think it was. I had it made over there. My daughter wants that ring, and we can't find it at home. I know it's at home, but we can't find it.
What kind of stone was in it?
3 little red stones, birthday stones. January's red, isn't it?
I think it is.
No, I think it was January stone.
What else did you purchase?
It was me, myself, and I. A chemo thing, outfit, bowling shirts. I think they're still in the cedar chest. My son went overseas for a trip for work, and he got the granddaughter a little chemo thing. And it was 10 times higher than what I paid for that thing. I can't believe it. That went in the cedar chest to save it. Let's see, what else? Shoes, we got old wooden shoes. I don't remember too much else.
Do you recall any particular humorous or unusual events? You told us about the Eisenhower, but anything humorous?
Can't come up with anything. Won't be humorous, but that guy that was in charge of the hospital overseas, he was mean to the women. Mean. He was married to a Japanese woman. They had a baby that was born without a brain, and I thought that was his payback for being mean. I mean, it's hard to say, but he got mellowed down afterwards. one of the little things in life that you learn that behave. He was ornery though, me.
What did he do that was so mean?
Just the way he talked to you. No promotions, stuff like that. Yell at you. We done a good job. We done our job that we had to do.
So he didn't treat you equally.
Yeah, true. Well, when with jobs at home, he said, not when they put you in there, it wasn't that way. You know, everybody's supposed to go and serve their time. What are you going to do with all these stories?
What are we going to do with all these stories? Well, we want to preserve them. We feel all of you soldiers, all of you who have served your country deserve to be recognized. And we're going to put them on the Illinois State Library database. And they're out there, they will be out there so your family and your friends can remember your stories and your history.
They got that women's memorial thing that they put up.
Yes, they do.
And then they sent around to get you to sign up and put in there.
Yes.
I signed up for that.
Good.
I tried to get a lot of people that I know signed up, but they wouldn't put their name in it.
Well,
I even volunteered to give them the $25 to put it in there, but they still wouldn't put it in there.
and this is free. Secretary White feels that all the veterans are important.
If you don't get it now, you're not going to get it after they're dead.
Exactly. And you have a story, and we want to hear it.
Okay.
That's what we want you to tell us your story.
The only way you're going to get it, honestly, is listening to it.
Exactly. And that's what we want. We want you to tell it. Good, bad, indifferent.
Mm-hmm. That's what it should be.
So, come on.
That's all I got I know of.
Well, we heard about your one officer, your officer in charge of the hospital, and how he didn't treat you very good. What about your fellow soldiers, your fellow, how were they?
Most of them are good.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are a little ornery. But you know how to take care of them if you want them taken care of.
And how was that?
Well, whether you want to go along with what they do or don't go along with what they do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had one sergeant, and he worked the NCO club. He worked the bingo, what do you call this?
Boxing?
No, the casino. And he was in charge of, the machines in there. He asked me one night if I would come and play, and he would let me know what machines were going to kick, and we would split the money, the winnings. I said, no, we can't do that. We cannot do that. He said, why not? Nobody know. I said, when you start winning too much, people are going to know. So I refused to do it. I probably could have been rich, but I didn't do it. And that's honest. You get caught doing something wrong, and you're out.
Did you keep a personal diary when you were in the service?
I did when I went overseas on the boat. That was day by day, just what I thought and everything. I probably kept some, but not, full. Don't ask me where it's at, though, because most of the stuff I sent home.
Do you recall the day that was your last day in the service?
Yeah, kind of.
Can you?
They asked me if I'd had my Rehab rights, and I said, oh, yes, which I didn't. They sent me home early, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks early, because they had nothing to do. There's something important coming up. Oh, when I got back to San Francisco, the taxi driver, huge guy, huge, extremely huge. He took me down to the warehouse or somewheres to get my stuff, because it must have been shipped in on something. And he said to me, aren't you women afraid to travel alone with all that money that you just got discharged with? And I panicked. And I told him, I said, well, we don't have any money. They make us send it all home. Oh, he said, we went right to the warehouse, got this gone. I was scared then. And then when we picked up the stuff, there was a black guy there, handing it out. And he said, ma'am, you got too much stuff. So I gave him either 5 or 10. I said, would this help get it through? Oh, he's grinned from ear to ear. And he took it. So I got my bags on and got him home. That's not knowing anything, just being kind of dumb, but working your way through. He probably was happy too. Now, what else do you want to know? It's hot in here. I should put a fan in here. I got like 10 more minutes or so on the air.
Okay. Okay. What did you do when you got out of the service? What did you do afterwards when you got home? What did you?
I went to the place where I had worked before.
Okay.
And they took me right on.
Did you join any veteran organizations?
Didn't know anything about them. Lack of being knowledgeable, I think.
Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or military in general?
No, I enjoyed being there. There was 6 of us in the house. All of them, my 4 brothers and I joined, but my sister didn't join. And I know Mom was proud of us, because we sent her them pillows and, stuff like that.
Were you in the military at the same time?
Well, some of us were, my one brother got out from Korea stop, and then I went in like within 2 years. And then I got another brother behind me, he was in. And then the other brother, I think we were all out when he went in.
How has your service and the experience from being in the service affected your life?
It made you a different person. Can't think of how to come up with it though. You're more to yourself, I think. More independent to yourself.
Do you have any children?
I had 5. I lost one. One little girl I lost. And I got 4 now.
Did any of them join the service?
No, they're within, 36, 37, to 33. All 4, so they're real close-knit. I don't think they will, but one keeps talking about it going in, so I don't know. She might end up someday going. But she gotta hurry up though, because she's 33 now.
What if she said that she was going to go in the service? What would you say to her?
Great. Great, you're gonna learn a lot. Take advantage of it. She's got all these master degrees, so she could probably go in as an officer, I think. Not sure, but she'd have to figure that out or check into it. I don't think my boy would want to go in. Got 1 son, 3 daughters.
Do you wish you would have made a career of it?
If they would have give you the rehab talk, it might have been, you might have said yes, because you had no place to go except back home again. Start out on foot 1 again. You left foot 1, so you didn't want to go back to foot 1. But that didn't happen that way.
Why didn't they give you the talk?
They asked me if I had it, and I said yes. I didn't want to hear it. My own fault, I guess.
Young.
Honesty.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I can't be calm. Yeah. Hard time breathing, too.